Howdy do, fella kids. It is the professional Dillweed here. Welcome back to another video, and today I'm strictly narrowing in on my new exhaust here, which is the Over Racing exhaust for the Honda Monkey, which is now technically the fourth exhaust that I've had on this thing. So the Over Racing exhaust is a full titanium exhaust that they make for pretty much just about anything of this nature. My buddy Wayne really likes to put it on Monkeys, the Honda Trail 125s, and so forth. So let's go ahead and get a quick cold start on this thing. And yes, this does have a dry clutch on it, so that's why you hear a little bit more rattles. All right, and one warm up later. All right, so let's go ahead and get some flyby clips so you can hear it from the flyby standpoint.
I'm gay.
So, with the cold start and the rev out of the way, let's go ahead and hop on this thing. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on the road with this thing. As you can tell, this thing still has a really nice throaty sound to it, like my Yoshimura RS3 had. So you might be thinking, oh, Mr. Dillweed, so why did you ditch the RS3? It's not because I wanted to, it was because I had to, unfortunately. As much as I loved the RS3 with all of its banana-y, monkeyish features, because it had little bananas and a monkey engraved into the little heat guard there. Due to circumstances, I did have to upgrade. And those reasons being is, well, to make a short story long, the stock exhaust, well, it was the stock exhaust. It took up way too much ground clearance. So then I went to the Takegawa exhaust, which looks like the stock exhaust because it basically is, but instead of it doing that, all that plumbing down under the bike, it just went straight up to the exhaust and still kept that nice stock look. However, that was not pushing out enough air for me doing a big bore on it, and I melted the piston with the Takegawa. So with that being said, I upgraded to the Yoshimura. And the Yoshimura I had for actually a pretty decent amount of time. But then my engine decided to become an external combustion engine. So I did this full rebuild on it. And even the Yoshimura wasn't pushing out enough gas, I should say. So of course the next step up that has, well, a large enough of a diameter of the header and everything to push out enough air was this. The only downfall of this exhaust is that it didn't have the bung, as people call it, for the O2 sensor for my tuner. I have the A-Racer Mini X on this, and of course it needs that so it can read the tune and everything. Well, as you can see here, how to get that fabricated. One thing I also really like about this exhaust, pretty much about every single time that you ride this thing, when you park it, the coloration on it is just a little bit different. With it being titanium and everything, you get all those blues, purples, golds. It's really a pretty exhaust, to be honest. But whenever it comes in the mail to you, it's just silver. These colors, you gotta earn them. And going down these back roads right now, I'm cruising about 60-ish miles an hour, and it's not droney. Yeah, you can hear it, but it's not blowing your ears out like my Kawasaki does. Of course, the exhaust on the Kawasaki is an El Cheapo one off of Amazon. The amount of money that I spent on just exhaust alone on this thing is insane. Let me go ahead and add up just the exhaust cost alone. The one thing that the RS3 exhaust has over this is that it did come from the factory with that little O2 bung, and if you didn't plan on using it, it had a little plug for it. Because with this one, it just goes, oh, you need an O2 bung? Make one. Which is what we had to do. And what I mean by we, I mean by Wayne. Speaking of Wayne, if you guys are looking to have your mini bike, which is a Monkey, a Grom, Z125, a Honda CT70, a Honda Trail 125, anything like that, if you want to have those modified, even to the slightest amount of wanting to replace your turn signals, all the way up to doing a 300 swap, my boy Wayne over at the Speed Shop can get that taken care of for you. I went ahead and included his Facebook page in the description below. And be sure to tell him that the old Dillweed sent you over, and he'll help you out. And if you guys are new around here and saying, oh geez, that Monkey doesn't really exactly look stock, well, you would be correct, my boy. This is a 186 4-valve Neo that, well, my buddy Wayne built out. Hi there, police officer. I saw you beyond the trees. And that's probably where he also saw me, too. Hopefully I wasn't doing anything stupid. Looks like he's staying put. We're good. The other thing with my Kawasaki is that the exhaust on it, you can be doing 35 miles an hour, and people can hear you from 2 miles away, but it sounds like you're doing 90. Even though that bike is nowhere capable of doing 90, it has gotten me in trouble before. As pictured here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Oh boy, it looks like we got a Kubota up here that I gotta blow the doors off of. That right there made me feel like an R1, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm cruising happy, doing about 65 to 66 miles an hour right now. And it's not too terribly loud. I can hear myself in the helmet, unlike the Kawasaki, where it makes your ears ring for days. So I've had this exhaust on here for just a little over a year now. And yes, I know I'm incredibly late to make a video on it, but let's just say instead of procrastination, I was just trying to make sure I got all my thoughts together on it. Yeah, let's go with that. And I must say, with all my thoughts now thoroughly concluded, I do enjoy this exhaust very much. However, I will say that the one thing I do miss is the little bananas and the Monkey on the RS3 exhaust. It's just the tiny details that count. Even whenever you're not going down back roads, it has a really nice deep sound to it. Something that you wouldn't expect from, say, like a tiny little engine like this. Especially the lower RPMs. It just sounds beefy. So for just a quick summary, I upgraded from the stock exhaust to the Takegawa exhaust because I wanted ground clearance. And then I upgraded from the Takegawa exhaust to the Yoshimura RS3 because I needed more airflow. And then I had to upgrade from the RS3 to the Over Racing exhaust because I needed more airflow. So you might be wondering, is this exhaust worth the price tag? And the answer is yes, for the primary reason being this exhaust is a heck of a lot cheaper than rebuilding the engine. And ask me how I would know. And as you can see here, I'm over here doing normal speeds, trying not to get pelted by anything that comes off this dump truck, but it's actually quite quiet until you give her some beans. So if you're over here just enjoying just a normal ride, it's not drone-y, and it's not over here rattling your ears off and making them bleed. Alright, so that concludes the
overall exhaust review. If you guys have any questions regarding it or any other previous exhaust, be sure you leave a comment down below. But other than that, that is where I'm going to start wrapping up today's video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure you show some support by dropping a like. If you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And most importantly, be sure you hit that booty. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.